in Jamaica, a little district called Cascade in Hanover. And I emigrated to England here, 1952. And since I only reside in Wolverhampton, I don't live anywhere else beside Wolverhampton. And I sent my 6 children from Jamaica in the 60s now, like coming down. And 2 was born here. She's one, that one there, and one born in England here. And I can't remember their age. I'm not good in remembering. I'm going to remember my age every time.
All right.
Okay. And then after I came in 52, I sent for my wife by 53 running down in the late 50s after I came in. And then after that, I sent for the six children. And then it was hard time, very hard time. The whole structure of situation, it was very, very, very tense. I've been the first baby born here into a little front Indian man, tent, and in a little baby, the cot, pram, whatever you call it. It was very, very inconvenient. And then I pressed my way through, and by 54, I purchased a little house at a place called Brighton Place, after Meridale Road. And I was to sell it after 79. My missus took sick. For 1 year straight, she was up in the New Cross Hospital for 1 year straight. From there to Royal, to Birmingham, West Park. And until she died, over 3 years now since she died. Leave me helping myself.
Doing very well.
Yeah. And
Could I just take you back to when you were born in Jamaica? In Hanover, was it?
Hanover, yes. Parish of Hanover.
Yeah. Can you, going back there, tell me some things about your childhood?
Well, the childhood is completely different from you young ones. Completely different, because I didn't love school as the first thing, but I had to go to school. And that book that I show you there, it's all in there too. And my mother would take me to the school because those teachers, they was ignorant, very ignorant.
What do you mean by ignorant?
Oh, they don't understand, and just whip you without mercy, and you have to bow to them and this kind of a thing. And she would take me to the school and would say, "Teacher, only spare the eyes." You know what that means now?
Don't touch you even.
Yeah. And well, my old man, he didn't concern much, but the old lady was very concerned of my, living. And anyway, I try all the way from going to school. Hide on trees. I go places and watch when the children then coming on from school. I come out and join with them, this kind of thing. But nevertheless, I leave school just in I don't know what you call it now, but 5th book.
Do you know how old you were when you left?
At that time, that's 15.
You were 15.
15. But nothing much up here. Well, since that then, cultivating, and I always, you may not know this, but we have cut some boards to make houses, we call it Saya. And then from there again, I vendor for bread, sell bread, if you want to call it, bread seller, you know. I have say vendor, whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
Somebody drives and I sell the bread. And then from there, by 52, I actually leave Jamaica then to England.
So how many children were in your family? How many brothers and sisters did you have? How many brothers and sisters did you have?
Well, okay. Well, I have one brother. You see him right there, the cap on there. But he died now. See him with the cap there. He's above me there.
He was older than you?
Yes, he's older than me. He died now. He was in Florida.
Yeah.
All right. And then I have 5 sisters. 2 still now in the state. 1 in Birmingham. But the rest died. So we'll call it 8 children my mother did have. Is it 8 or 8 children?
5 sisters, 1 brother,
Uh-huh.
and you.
Yes. Anyway, one did died early time. I know that I didn't put that in the. Anyway, but anyway, it was 8 of us in all, but one died early. And myself now, I come and I have 8.
8 children?
8 children.
Okay.
8 of them.
So were your brothers and sisters like you, not like in school?
Well, again, what you say?
Were your brothers and sisters the same as you? Did they not like school?
No, they like school. I only
You're the only one.
I do. They were like it. You see, the teacher there was too wicked. They would beat you without mercy. They would, if you ever resist and try to, you know, you call 3 or 4 boys and lay over the bench, and then he whop you. That didn't give you no idea to go to school. Anyway, but we survived.
I
And
think discipline is important in school.
yeah, but they were too aggressive. They were too aggressive.
Do you think there's any discipline in schools today? Do you think if there's any discipline in schools today?
Well, I don't think they have no discipline in school today as nowadays. I don't want to, definitely, because we seems, how we brought up, we seem want the situation to be just like our days. But it can't be and it will never be. It's strange. But I think it's too out of order. It want some better principle, discipline around the school. But then again, for what I know, many stem from the parent. Many stem. I want to say that right away before I missed it. When 2 of the children, 3 of the children, when they were going up to a school, English school, I said to them this Monday morning when they're going, I said, no, you won't be seeing no black face in that school where you go to this morning. And don't allow no complaint to come to me. And they all do the education and got good education. And no teacher, no police, nobody don't come to my home one day with any complaint towards them.
That's good.
So they kept to, whether that really keep them, I don't know. But no complaint come at all. And as I said, they pass out, she's nurse. One of them there is nursing over in Birmingham. One of the son is in California. In the state, no, he's a teacher. And the one in Birmingham, he's a mechanic. And coming down, and that girl, you know, she is in Dudley, run a day center. She named Jean. I don't know if you ever hear about her. Okay. I think I allow you to ask him, you know.
Sorry?
I think I will allow you to ask me something to catch me up.
Okay. I'll be asking you some more questions about your family later, but I wanted to ask you another question. What are your best memories of living in Jamaica? What do you remember best that you enjoyed?
Oh, well, I had also enjoy what I get, but I like to sport. I did like to sport, and when they have some kind of entertainment, they always choose me to go and do cooking, catering.
Yeah.
I enjoy that
Yeah.
with my wife, Biban, and things like that.
So you're a good cook.
So I enjoy that very, very much.
Yeah.
And others, but we didn't have facilities as today. We were limited because things was very, and I say poor, but it wasn't as today. But then now, if I can say this, I travel along until I get converted now, 1942, and I spent 10 years in the service in Jamaica. And then I emigrated, as I said, to England. And I just came in, and then the church just set in Wolverhampton, because we were the first black-led people that formed a church in Wolverhampton.
Really?
Yeah, we the New Testament.
Yeah.
It started 1953. And then we expand and churches all over. I never be a minister yet, and I couldn't be a minister. Maybe it wouldn't be but I'm a worker for it. That's why I get all those flags there, come in when I get those. And I fill every office in gone to the church, except be a minister, and I feel satisfied. True that a lot of people all over know me, Someone will hear my name. Sometimes they may hear it for good, sometimes they may hear it for bad.
So you came off in 1952?
Yes, came in 1952.
What were your reasons for coming?
Well, my reason, to declare the truth to you, there were one and two people what I knew from my parish, Claremont, Jericho, Cascade, I knew they came, that must be 49 and so 50, 51. And I never have any mind thinking, because I didn't have any money. I read the money and I just didn't have any mind of England. Until I have a cow at this time. And I promised to sell the cow and help one of my friends to come to England, and when he come, he would send back and help me to come at this time now then. But when I make that promise, one of my minister says to me then, Deacon Gowd, why you don't try to go to England then? Because you have a family. And right away, he went down. And I understand what he said. And I said, I gave the chap the cow to sale, and he couldn't get it selfie. Maybe I wouldn't have to go so far. But then finally I had also take back the cow, and I get it sold. And I have a bit of land. And I sell it and make up my £95. Because it was £95, 16 shilling and 6 pence, Jamaica English money. And make my passage and come to England. But why? Life was tough. Life was tough. When I said tough, it was tough.
So you thought it would be better in England?
Well, I didn't know we know England as our mother country. And then they always take from the West Indies to go in the war, when the war and things was, and when they come for you have to go. So then being we are British, then Britain, and say, we heard that England is a country, And then we decided to come. But when we come now, we were disappointed because we were told that it's our mother country.
Yeah.
And we come there, didn't accept us as children them, children. To get a job, well, I never out of a job from I came in until I 65. I worked first 1 year at Rubio in Dardistan, and I worked 21 years at Goodyear until I retired. So I didn't have no hard time to get no job, but quite a lot have it rough. All right, now coming on the what you call now, what would call it now, like your shopping, your clothes.
Yeah.
From you coming in there, now you have to go to labor exchange to change, to get your stay proper and to get advice from what, and they would give you £2. £2 something or the other, I don't remember. That is £2.5.
Yeah.
And that is, you have to get that until you get a job. Well, as I said already, I didn't stay long before I get a job. I come in the Saturday and by the Monday I get the job. Well, anyway, you have to find a doctor. You must find a doctor. You must find a grocery. And you must find three things you must have to obtain before. When they give you a ration card, yeah, I don't know, this ration card is nearly like your, it's nearly like your pension book.
Yeah.
It's stated out. And when you go to the beef shop, you can't ask say you want £2 or nothing. That ought to have it good. You only have to give them the book. And they tear out and give you £1 of this, £1 of that, £1 of that, and that have to serve you for the week. And if you go and use it out foolishly and waste, you don't get any more until you just say they come back. So you have to be very carefully. Well, when it comes on the lodging part, 3 of us as 3 men had us to sleep on 1 bed. The reason for that, they did have a lady have a place down Water Road, you call it, Board and Lodge.
Yeah.
And that would be 45 shillings a week. But it didn't known as a good place, like, you know, but you had to. So anyway, one of my friends took me down on the Saturday morning and get a bed for me. The other friend, when he came in from work Saturday evening, he was told that I get a bed down. He said, no, he's not going to allow me to go there, it's not good. Because when I went in this Saturday morning and see the clothes, the rack is right over the big, like this hall, you know, the big dining table is for everybody right there.
Yeah.
And the rack with the clothes hang over it. You guys know what I mean? Because it's a rack you drop and like that.
Yeah.
And I said, oh my, that's not my kind. And I was in a bit of trouble, but I couldn't say it until when my friend came in the evening saying not going to. And because of that, no, he and another friend were sleeping together. So he took me in and the 3 of us. Then I had it very hard because one is in the front and one is in the bed corner, and I have to go in the middle. And I can't go to bed at early time as they did.
Yeah.
And you could imagine how embarrassed it used to be with me. Anyway, until then, I was able to obtain a room and move on from there. There's a lot of things. Yeah. It's a lot. I would prefer you ask me something again. You know.
No, I'm just letting you tell your story. So.
Yeah? No, yeah. I would like you to ask a question again. Okay. Ask me now.
All right. Okay, you talked about setting up, you were the first black church.
Okay.
When you came over here.
Okay.
So you set that up in 1953?
53.
All right.
Yeah. But before I go there, in the same 52, late 52 now, I was told that a little church over into a place called Blackheath, behind Dudley.
Yeah.
Like we're going to Orizoin. So there's a little church there. It's in my book there.
Yeah.
And we make plan to go there. You know, me and another fellow. And we had it hard was to find there. The bus that we should take the morning, just as we go near seat, it moves off. And we had also stop 1 hour before we could get another one to take us there.
Yeah.
And when we reached there, they were pronouncing the benediction. But nevertheless, the pastor persuaded us and we stopped for the evening.
Yeah.
And then from that, I worshiped with them over there for 1 year.
Yeah.
Until our church, you know, so better. You know Pastor Brown?
I've heard of him.
Heard him about. You heard about Lyside?
No, I haven't.
Okay. But anyway, there were people from Jamaica, you know, in the church and thing. And they say it's full time now for us too. Because immigrants coming in more and more every week, somebody coming in. And so they thought to round us up, and so they did.
Yeah.
And by 53 we opened our own church. Yeah. Until today now, we have thousands and thousands all over the country.
Yeah.
Yeah. Belong to the New Testament Church of God. And then we are very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you find any problems in setting up the church when you first started?
Very much, as I said, that book, I have a lot of these in the book, you know. We used to worship on the Stafford Street, right in town,
Yeah.
at the YMCA, the Young Men Association. And in the Sunday mornings, when we go to worship, we have to get the mop on, we have to get the disinfection, we have to get the mop and everything and to clean up for the Tuesday, Saturday night with all the Saturday night over mess.
Yeah.
So we had to go down to hard work before we can go into worship. So anyway, we start to seek somewhere until we got a bit of land on the same Stafford Road, this carver place, I don't know if you know, Stafford. Well, we bought a bit of land there with a house on it. It's 2,000 hard we pay for it. After that now, we want to build, but the government wouldn't allow us. The corporate, they wouldn't allow us at all. They say, why come here to go build church when there is a lot of churches, segregation is going to be. So we had to go down in deep situation to get, they did pass it, that we can build after a long persuasion.
So they didn't want you to set up a
No, they didn't want us. They didn't want. Definitely didn't want us to do it. Well, after long, consistent, we get the okay to build. But they said at this time now, you cannot build with bricks. It have to be asbestos.
Why did they say that? Do you know?
So the reason why they said, because government have 10 years, it's 10 years plan them always have for these big things. Yeah. So they say by 10 years, the Stafford Road that you see there, the dual way, the dual carriageway, they're going to move all those houses to widen, improve the road.
Yeah.
So by the 10 years, we have to find somewhere else to go.
Oh, I see.
And after that, you know, we went down searching for a place. We bought a piece of land right before Trouble, you know, Trouble. You know where that pub is?
Yeah.
We bought a piece of land for £6,000. Well, immediately while we were negotiating for it, somebody told us that there's a church where we are now, but it was in bush, like, you know, for sale. We went down and we saw it. It was out of order because it locked up about. You see that big Bible there? Is there? I get it. See that big Bible? It locked up there for years, unoccupied. Anyway, it was out of order, but we says, well, we will do something, and we bought it. And we sell the bit of land now and make the money up
Yeah.
to 8,000 something another and bought that place.
So how many were in your church at that time? So
Well, it could be 140, 150, roughly. But it improved since greatly, you know. Well, we bought it and we get it going. So we were settled down and going on well.
yeah.
And what again?
So how did you get on with? In fact, let me ask you: did you go to any other churches? Was it just the one that you went to? That one in Blackheath?
Oh, yes, just the only one. That's it. Because, funny to say, I didn't have no trouble with nobody in this country. Nobody, neither white nor black. You know? Some of our chaps, they go to church, and if you go for the first, they look on you very fearful, very. If you go the second time, oh, they begin to get upset.
Is that going into a white church?
You go to a white church. If you go the third time, as a black man, I didn't have that personal experience, do you know. They call up the minister and to look about that, for they don't want it. So it was very, very rough when it come to church.
What did you think of that, given that these people were Christians?
Yeah, but they didn't concern about that. You know, they just didn't want black people around in that sense. Because you would see a little child, like the bus, you go on the bus now, little boy, circle, black man, he say, Mommy, scared is very scared. We didn't use the white people home, you know that. It's only in the, like it says, those big men, judges are hotels, like, you know, 1 and 2 colored black man would work, or black woman would work here, but not much in the country. Coming here not used to the massive of white people, we were a little bit awkward against them in the middle too. One day I was on the bus, and the Saturday evening, landing the Saturday evening, the little bus full, you know, and could hardly find a seat. But nevertheless, there was a lady sit down, and I get a catch. So I sit a little kind of, don't want to go too near, you know. And she found out that I was embarrassed. And she said, come on, come up and sit down properly. I was at home now at this time. I feel accepted, you know. Well, anyway, from that, it's a lot. It's a lot of things happen. And what can I could lend you this book, and you could have some scrutinize and see you get some great thought from it. Well, I can't remember the memory not so much again, but the book will give you a lot of thought. And what it is again.
Tell me about your work. Did you have any problems with people in work?
In work?
Yeah.
No, dear. As I said earlier, I have no problem with nobody, neither white nor black in this country. See, I bought this clothes, as I was saying, from 54. And everywhere I go, I try, not because it was at the best, but I become a Christian. And the Christian virtue, you have to let people know that. Not only to talk about Christianity, but it's to act it. So many things could get me upset, but I have to, you know. But I didn't have no problem. Absolutely.
So, what year did you send for your wife and family to come over?
Yes, my wife came in 53. Big in the, late 53. And after she came in by 50, 60, I start to send. One of the girl, she was just 7 when she came in. If she's in nurse over in Birmingham, am I doing wrong thing, you know?
You're fine. Carry on.
This girl, you see a family about so this one.
Yeah.
Where she is. See her here. She named Rose. And she is one that was nursing in Birmingham. She first came when she was 7. And after that, sent for others. One year apart and thing, you know, until I get them here.
How did you find saving the money?
Well, saving the money now again. How must I really put it? It was a bit tough. For my wife didn't privilege to do much work in here because she came in 53 and by 54 then she started to make a family. So she only do a little part-time. But being the country was so low, so poor, things was so down. Everything, these cars, these what you call mobile phones, and all these luxury around, we didn't know about them. But you couldn't go in a shop, as I said again, to say you want a pound of flour or a pound of nothing. The little that they gave you, you have to use that carefully. So the little money that you get, you could really, you can't spend it because there's no chance of you spending it. And then we join this word, this thing, partner.
Explain about the partner.
This partner now, maybe 3 of us is here now, then, and each of us give £5, and weekly or whatever it may be, until it could be that when the person who to get the first money, that person may get £50, that person may get 40, you know, varied. And then we was able to buy, you know, this.
So you each took it in turn to receive money from the partner?
Yes, yes. The what?
So you each took it in turn to get some money from the partner?
Yes, yes, no. 3 of us is here, as I said. And when this partner said, me first might get it, you first you may get £20, you may get £40, it all depends. You get from that. But in that no, it's only £5 you have, maybe having that. You have to work now and the other person get the other week and the other person just like that. But you get a little round sum of money. Because when I buy the house, you know, £100 I have, £101 I have in the post office bank. And I bought the house out of it. Won't let I ask a person to join with two partners, you know, to buy this house. And I draw my £100 and he gave £50. Deposit was £300 deposit to get this house, you know. And each week as we work, we paid until we get this £300 for deposit on the house, and then we borrowed £900. So this is, we climb up the ladder that those kind of a way, climb up.
So when were your family all together? When were your family all together? When was the last child?
When the last child came in?
Yeah.
Well, again, the what do you call it? It's really hard for, I don't go down memory, like, you know.
Was it just within a few years?
Yes, all right, the last one, where you put it now, 54, I start to send from 60, like, you know, as I said. The last one may comes in the early 70.
Okay.
In the early 70, roughly does. And in the early 70s.
Okay.
That was the last one came in.
So I'm looking around at all the pictures that you've got in here.
Uh,
You have a big family.
yes, they can't count grandchildren and great granny. See one of the son there now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Great granny, nephews, whole lot,
Mm.
whole lot.
Do you see them often?
Well, so far, no, because in '90, when they got my birthday, you see that that hat, you see,
Yeah.
is the birthday hat, somebody ring that, 2000 here, that,
Yeah.
and that was the first of this year here, and quite a lot of them was there, quite a lot. But everybody's so busy now, have too much to do for themselves, and I don't want to distress any of them because I know they have their own responsibility. But I've seen them, For the girl, that one there, she drive me to church in the Sunday mornings. And she do all my little business, what I can't do.
Yeah. You said earlier that you're doing a lot of interviews. You're very famous. You're a celebrity. You're a celebrity. You're doing a lot of interviews.
Yes, quite a lot,
Yeah. And you've got a lot of achievement plaques up there.
Yes, see, interview all the time, both in the church.
Yeah.
Up to last Sunday morning, one of the girls came to me again, interview, just nearly like what you.
Yeah.
So right round I can't get away.
I'm looking at that one there. You see this one?
This?
No, that one.
This one?
Yeah.
Well,
What was that exactly about? What was that for?
am I?
What was that for? No, it's all right, carry on.
Where it come from? Northampton, is it not Wolverhampton?
See.
Caribbean.
Yeah, African Caribbean Achievers Award. BBC
Oh,
WA.
I see. This come from they did have this at the Molyneux age concern. This girl that I'm talking to you about, Irie, Lady Irie, they mix up in these things, So this is, I get it from the mayor, and that is the old age, just said, what you doing here now, old age. We who came in first, our activities, what things was like.
Yeah.
So then, that's where I get this one from. And that's about nearly 2 years now.
So you've been doing a lot of things in the community.
Yes.
Tell me about some of the things that you've done.
Yeah?
Tell me about some of the things that you've done.
Well, on the church side, anything.
Anything?
Well, as I said, my ability wasn't to be a preacher, a pastor, to lead people. I didn't have that ability. I said I didn't have self-esteem in that. But nevertheless, if I name you all the churches in England and Wales, I can assure you, if it's 90 church in England and Wales, 90 different assemblies, I can assure you I have more than half of service support in that. If you name them, South Wales, Peterborough, Manchester, Nottingham, London, all over the country, all over. Stafford, Bilston, Wolverhampton, Wensfield, Low Hill, name them.
All the New Testament churches.
And that is, well, I think it's about 101 now in the country. So I feel all those places help, passed through some very rough time. All in the 60s, oh gosh, the snow and the fog.
Yeah.
One of the time we're coming from Tipton, and the driver for this van, one of us have to walk with the light here and the other one on the left with the torch to direct him out. We have to go before him and lead him, you know, just going to Goodyear one Sunday night, round this park here, the West Park.
Yeah.
We only hear voices, but you can't see people.
Mm.
You only step in, but don't know where you're stepping.
Mm.
And it was very, very rough. It was very, very rough. And definitely some of the people are very awkward to deal with. Very awkward. As I see you, I tell you this again. Personally, if you're a white girl would talking whether good or bad,
Yeah.
and the chap came up and see you talking, the white chap, you ask what the black man saying to you. These were the kind of things. And in other words, if she don't want him to ask her, as in see white man coming, like she step up, because they didn't
Like that.
As I said, even in the churches, they didn't want to. But today, is the black people keeping the churches going in England, you know? The black people. And what again?
You're talking about the white people not wanting to know the black people in the churches.
In the church.
Right. Do you find it difficult to witness to white people?
Oh, yes. Yeah. For instance, we are in Wolverhampton from 54. And I can assure you, in the Midland here,
Yeah.
I don't think you would find 50 white people in all these churches, what I mentioned. See, they are different. They don't believe that the black people should come to tell them. You know. So it's very, very difficult to gain them. Because we have nearly 300 hard members in our church down here, down there, you know. And it's only one white man, one white woman, and about 3 little young ones out of that great number.
Yeah.
Show you how difficult it is to get them.
Why do you think that is?
Prejudice, the color. Color once you skill. One time I was living on the Dudley Road before I get my home. And there's a white man with his family next door. And the children them now would come over, you know, each time after they get settled down with us. And this evening the television was on. Because we didn't have television, it's only 1 and 2 home.
Yeah.
And this evening, television was on, and a group of black people come on the screen. Oh, he said, oh, turn out, I don't want to see these black people in my house. It's television, you know, just to show the prejudice that they turned up. I don't want to see them in my house. Now, did I mention about the bread and thing? Well, no bread was ever been wrapped. Just as it come out the oven, is the same way it's served.
Yeah.
If you gone to work this morning, dear, you know, if I gone to work this morning, they take the bread and they put on the window ledge right out there, and it have to stop there till you come in. Well, some of the chaps saying something maybe too extra. They say you put down a step down the dog would weave on it. That's what they say. I don't know, but you know, these are the kind of a thing. But then we begin to ignore that kind of a thing because we believe that the bread should wrap.
Yeah.
until after now, then bringing this wrapping of bread. And I would want to say it's because a lot of grumbling and resentfulness, you know. Maybe why they start to wrap the bread. The bread man would come with him dirty coat. Dirty, you know, man, and he would have it on the seat where the bread is.
Yeah.
And then, I just imagine, because those days everybody in dirty clothes, dirty, you know, dirty coming from work, or dirty, things wasn't tidy as to the air.
Yeah.
It was very, very peculiar, very difficult.
So you've lived in Wolverhampton for how long?
Yeah, from 52.
From 52 since you came. So tell me about some of the changes that you've seen.
Well, the change is wide. It's wide in every way. In every way. I work at Goodyear. I work at Ruby Owen. 60 hours a week, all night, £14. 60 hours a week, £14. I worked at Goodyear 69 hours. That is double time, you know.
Yeah.
£22. And look how much people getting now, how much hours. You see, that is a wide experience. All right, and there was no cars, more than 1 and 2. If you go to Goodyear, they have to have the big bicycle garage. I call it garage.
Yeah.
If you go to Ruby Owen, the same way, if you go and see and be Summit, they have to make preparation for the big bicycle. So when you look on the road, you know, the cars, you see, so it's far different. The building, when you see, this is a point I want to say again. When you was coming on the train from London, and when the train coming through and when you see the smoke going up in the air, we was say, oh, what type of factories?
Yeah.
It was the houses, you know, going up through the chimney.
So you found that shocking?
Yeah. The other thing again, when I saw the bricks, that personal must say, saw the bricks, I said, whoa, inside of this house must be rough. But and when I went in and, you know, first and see how beautiful it can, you know, inside. So these are the kind of experience without knowledge. I don't know what's going on. Because in Jamaica we used our boards, shine boards, cedar boards, pretty clean, you know, pie. So seeing these bricks, we were surprised. Yeah. And the whole thing about it, we were disappointed when we come. Because we were told, Office England, and we were looking for something more standing. Little roads, no good road. So you'd see the improvement. These buildings that you see here, they know quite a lot of improvements, different from those days. So much. Any exact point?
So have you been back to Jamaica?
Just one time. 86. You may ask me then, how come so many people gone? I have all my family here. My children, my wife, well, she died, I was saying. So my sisters, 2 in the State, 1 in Birmingham, you know, right through. So I don't have any immediate family in England here. So it didn't give me no desire to go back out there. Because of my family is here. My brother who died, he was in Florida. He have got a lot of children over there just as well. So I don't have any. So it didn't move me. Didn't motivate my spirit to go. And I don't think I will go again either. Don't think strange of me. I don't think I will go again.
Does Jamaica seem different.
Oh, you see, when I went out there 86, I have to look where, if it's a place that I did leave when I leave 52.
Yeah.
Oh, tattered. The good thing about it, the houses out there, what I saw,
Yeah.
it wasn't those I leave. You see, they are great, great houses, well built, and big, and it's only that was a great improvement. But otherwise, things were poor out there. You hear they talk about the hospital. I was stopping at a place with my brother-in-law, spent a few days. And a lady came, she went to Montego Bay from where I was to Montego Bay, something like 19, 20 miles. And the most of it, they have to walk to,
Yeah.
lot of it too. And she went to the doctor for the whole day and no doctor service. Have to come back home. And if she needed doctor still, she have to go back another day. Rough. I didn't enjoy it at all. Then the other thing again, the people get you scared. Like to say, as they see you, they know say you belong to England. I don't know what mark they have. You know, dress up different from them.
Yeah.
But they know say you're England. But one good thing about it, the ladies, I thought these women in England here, I thought, they were dressed. Well, go to Jamaica at that time especially.
Yeah.
Oh, they dress, you would even know that Jamaica. In the transport was so compact, you would stand up from 18 miles. You have to stand up in these, and they're well dressed, their hair pretty tidy, and their dress is just, that was the thing that shocked me.
Coming to England?
Eh?
In England?
No, Jamaica.
Okay.
In Jamaica.
When you went back?
Yeah, when I went back. Oh, the ladies, these couldn't dress more than them. And that was a great, upliftment spirit to see all that change. And it was today, because people from England here, people from Canada, people from America, back and front, and what is in England is the same thing in Jamaica, right? What is in Florida is the same thing in Jamaica. So those are great change, improvement,
Okay. Looking back on your life, what has been the most important thing to you?
At the moment,
Looking back on your life, what has been the most important thing throughout your life?
oh, well, I must have to declare this very strong. It's the salvation that I obtained, the church. And nobody come before my salvation. Nobody. I don't accept it. I just don't accept it. It comes first. What I am. You see this where I'm living here now.
Yeah.
When my wife was really sick, she was living in Wensfield at this time, confined to the wheelchair. And the home that I did have, it couldn't entertain, convenient for the wheelchair business. So one of the district nurse one morning came in and see the condition. The bed have to stuck on the corner. You can't move you can't change it one way. And when the paper slap you wet it on it, sometimes you have to take a blanket and put across. You see. And this nurse said, no, Mrs. Gower, this place don't suit you. And all unknown to me, when she was leaving, she said she's going to look to. And a few days after, I saw a gentleman drove up his car with his briefcase. I know he's a businessman, but what he called I didn't know. And he said, you Mr. Gowda? I said, yes. And he said, there is a doctor lady enter. All right, but he even don't know the lady. But nevertheless, he took me right down the same day when he come. drove to his car and opened this door and let me in. And that is 17 years gone now. See? But I tell you this again. The warden that is here, nice lady, when she was going to school, same school where my children started, she was giving my son, the one that you just saw a while ago there, giving him some experience when they're going to school. She wasn't educated. She couldn't, the teacher would push her out, you know, the unruly children.
Yeah.
And this little boy called Garwood always help her in, and as she heard the name, I was at home. Because she just come in like my own family, you know, just the name that, because the boy always help her. Even then, but he don't remember that neither, you know, the son. But it gave me a lift.
Okay.
And why not? No. yeah.
Okay, if I could just ask you one final question, what's the best thing about living in Wolverhampton?
Well, I haven't lived anywhere else. True that I don't have any comparison, you know. I visit all these places, I won't go and come, but all my days, and I wouldn't leave Wolverhampton until, you know, when my eyes close.
Do you like the people?
Yes, see, I'm a child of God, and I must love people, you know, every bit, ways and attitude. Don't trouble me, because as I was saying, it's 49 flats here, and I'm the only black man live here, and we have the entertaining all out there pass. And they have certain time to be there out there. And anytime they don't see me, they have to, because I just give them, my name is just Clive. That's my middle name. And anybody, Clive, you want to see Clive, everybody is for Clive. Sometimes their way is not so nice, but I know to conduct myself with them.